Vietnam retail market had consecutively been in the top 10 most appealing market in the world for many years. Despite the crisis in the economy at the moment, the consumer demands keep the market remaining active. In the past 2013, most of the consumers still keep the tradition of making purchases at small stores of quality goods with prices fitting their incomes. However, with the population of 90 million people that mostly consists of young people, Vietnam is still the potential market of the modern retail channel. According to the Ministry of Industry and Trade, the modern retail channels take up to 20% of the inland retail market. With the complete open policy for the year 2015, in 2014 we can witness a great landing of many new domestic and foreign investors in the market, raising the supplies for the retail system and answering the demands of the consumer that have been more and more diverse.
Greetings to our viewers of Sharing Vietnam. We have just presented to you a short clip of the reality of retailing market in Vietnam right now. Especially when Vietnam participates in the Trans-Pacific Strategic Economic Partnership Agreement (TPP), Vietnam market will have more opportunities to develop in all aspects. Today, we will have a talk with a retail services specialist from Cushman and Wakefield to listen to his thoughts about Vietnam retail market and also to gain more insights on how to expand the market according to the framework of the TPP. I'm honored to present to you Mr. Mark Burlton, Cushman and Wakefield Global Head of Cross-Border Retail. Hello, sir, and thank you for joining us today in Sharing Vietnam. As an expert in retail services, how do you view the potentials of Vietnam retail market, especially when Vietnam is negotiating to become a member of the TPP agreement?
I think the prospects for Vietnam are really excellent. I think the restrictions that have been in place in Vietnam, which are going to be lifted next year, have meant that Vietnam has perhaps not been quite as quick as other countries in the Asia-Pacific region to buy into the whole concept of international retail. So we're very excited about the prospects for Vietnam, and we want to make sure that as Cushman and Wakefield we allow our global platform of retail experts around the world to get the best of what we work with to come and open stores in Vietnam.
In becoming a member of the TPP agreement, what opportunities will come to the Vietnam retail markets?
It gives it the opportunity to compete on a level playing field against the other countries. The international brands, I think, when they're looking at the Asia-Pacific region, for too long have concentrated on China, China, and China. And I think one of the main reasons I'm here is to fully understand the opportunity for Vietnam and to see where it compares with the other markets. I think international brands need to look at a much more inclusive expansion strategy in the region, and the opportunity for Vietnam is great. It has a population similar in size to the UK, and I don't think many people perhaps are as aware as they should be of the opportunity here.
What are your thoughts about the retail brands that have been and will be present in Vietnam in the upcoming time?
In my limited time here, I've been very impressed by the quality and the depth of the luxury retailers. Brands like Hermes, Louis Vuitton, Hugo Boss, Ralph Lauren, they're really a who's who of luxury retail names. And I think that gives me great confidence and will give other retailers great confidence in the spending power of the Vietnamese customer and their attitude towards quality and taste and international brands. As for what's coming up in the future, it's always hard to tell, but I think the fact that you haven't got huge global brands like H&M and Zara mean that they will probably be the first brands to come into a market like this because they have the international capabilities, the experience, and I would fully expect them to come here ahead of most of the other brands. Also, brands like Marks and Spencer's, I believe, are already in advanced negotiations to open here as well.
The total opening of retail market in Vietnam and the participating of Vietnam in the TPP explain the numbers of new foreign supermarkets. Besides opening the market, it also means lifting the tariff barriers to the imported products. Many big groups such as Aeon from Japan, Lotte from Korea, Walmart from the US, Thailand's Central Group, and more are landing in Vietnam retail market to have hands-on experiences and exploit the advantages from the Vietnam importers and also to have other certain advantages.
Khi mà có rất nhiều các cái nhà bán lẻ nước ngoài mà họ tham gia kinh doanh trực tiếp tại Việt Nam thì dĩ nhiên họ có những cái ưu điểm nhất định. Đó thứ nhất là cái sự nhận diện thương hiệu của họ đã rất có tiếng, cho nên là cái việc nhận diện thương hiệu của họ rất là tốt. Cái thứ hai nữa là cái khả năng quản lý và vận hành bộ máy một cách chuyên nghiệp. Và cái thứ ba nữa đó rằng là cái việc mà cái dòng vốn mà họ đầu tư trực tiếp vào thị trường Việt Nam nó sẽ lớn hơn rất nhiều so với rất nhiều những các cái nhà phân phối local nhưng mà có rất nhiều những các cái thương hiệu nước ngoài trong tay.
The massive appearances of foreign retailers in Vietnam after the open policy will be both a challenge as well as an opportunity for domestic retailers. Having been in Vietnam for a long time and understood the taste of the consumers, Vietnam retailers are fully able to restore the position in inland market. The new coverage of foreign retailers in Vietnam will push the local retailers to open the new chains of supermarkets.
Participating in the TPP agreement means that all tariff barriers will be removed, making the Vietnam economy truly integrating with other members in the TPP. It also means that the foreign investors can place investment in various domestic fields, including the retail market, and domestic retailers will have to face rivalry from foreign ones. This will result in narrow domestic retail market and affect greatly to the incomes of a large number of the workforce. In light of that, what can Vietnam retailers do to face with competition?
I think there's a lot of misunderstanding about the impact of foreign retailers coming into any market, whether it's Vietnam or any country. We see it very much as a positive thing when the restrictions are lifted. There will be take time for the retailers to digest the consequences of the changes. There will only be a small number of retailers to start off with who will come in, and I think what they will do is generally lift the quality of the retail scene in Vietnam. The local retailers will respond, and hopefully they will start to compete. And I think overall, the general result will be a raising of the retail bar in Vietnam as a whole. So I really don't think it is a negative thing. I think it is a positive thing. And other countries where restrictions are being lifted, like India, will be going through the same process. It will be gradual and not a wholesale change overnight.
So do you think what good points, what advantages do Vietnam have right now?
I think the advantages that you have right now are that you have a young population, a population which is technologically quite advanced and therefore is able to research the brands that they want to see coming here, and actually to tell the retailers which ones they want to come into this market. So I think there is an emerging middle class with increased spending power that I think will appeal to the retailers from abroad looking to come into the region. If they already have a presence in the Asia Pacific region, then I think Vietnam should be one of the stopping places that they have, rather than moving on and ignoring it perhaps as they have in the past.
Along with the traditional retail systems at the present time, some of the retailers of the members of the TPP are also exploiting the online retail system thoroughly. What advice can you give to the Vietnam retailers in building that kind of retail system to achieve the highest results?
We find that retailers that have a compatible online retail strategy and bricks and mortar physical shop strategy, when that is coordinated, that is the most effective way of retailing in the modern world. In mature economies, most retailers are finding that they have far too many stores, and so they're having to go through a very painful and expensive process of closing shops to get to the optimum level of stores, as more of their business has been replaced by their online sales. So if I was going to be in charge of Vietnamese retail for the forthcoming years, my advice would be to take a limited number of high quality flagship stores in key locations and then support those with an online business that the greater population of the country can use.
In the upcoming time, do you, as well as Cushman and Wakefield, have any plans to support Vietnam in developing the retail market according to the framework of the TPP agreement?
Very much so, yes. Cushman and Wakefield has 900 retail professionals around the world located in just about every major city and country around the place. My job as head of global cross-border retail is to make sure that we are as coordinated as we possibly can be in identifying and advising retailers who might be looking at Vietnam, and even to promote Vietnam perhaps above where retailers think it is in their priority list. So we have a very strong desire to build the retail scene here. We have 10 professionals based in Hanoi and in Ho Chi Minh City, and I've got to know them very well. They're an excellent team, and I think I look forward very much to helping them bring the brands that you want to the country.
Once again, thank you for joining us today and sharing your opinions.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the talk with Mr. Mark Burlton, Cushman and Wakefield Global Head of Cross-Border Retail, has given us an insight into opportunities as well as the challenges that Vietnam retail market will have to face in joining the TPP agreement. We hope that the opinions and experiences of a top specialist of retail from Cushman and Wakefield will help the Vietnam retailers create more efficient strategies in order to develop the retail market here in Vietnam. Sharing Vietnam is now coming to an end. Any comments and feedbacks, please email us at sharingvietnam@vtc.vn. Thank you for watching. Goodbye and see you again.